You know, you're not supposed to have favorites, but the Sonos Arc soundbar has become my favorite home tech product yet. It is awesome, and I wanted to make this review to share with you guys why this is the soundbar that I chose, how it lived up to exactly what we wanted it to be, and a couple of the challenges that we've had in owning this product for over a year now. And I'll get this out of the way right out of the bat. I am not a card-carrying audiophile, but I do happen to have experience in the music industry, having played music professionally, and also having worked in the tech industry for over a decade. So that's roughly where I'm coming from for this review. Now, there are three main use cases that I cared about when purchasing this product. You see, my wife and I early in the morning like to get up and have our coffee and maybe listen to a podcast, like something short, 10 to 15 minutes to sort of get our day started, understand the news of the day and what's happening, stuff like that, and then be able to have a conversation about those things as well. The second use case that we had was we wanted to be able to play music throughout the day and sometimes in the evenings while entertaining friends and family. And the final use case that we had was being able to just be a good soundbar for TV shows, movies, video games, and watching sports. Now, as far as comparisons go, Sonos does offer two other soundbars aside from the Arc, the Beam and the Ray. And while the Beam sort of had a troubled initial launch and there is a second version of it, I feel like it sits in the middle of two products that better serve both ends of the market that are trying to get a soundbar experience, but for different types of customers. The Sonos Ray lacks HDMI eARC out. It also lacks directional speakers, so you're only getting speakers that are firing in a single direction, and therefore it does not support Dolby Atmos. If you care about something like Dolby Atmos for not only having a great movie and TV experience, but also being able to fill sound in a room versus only being able to experience that sound well when you're directly sitting in front of that speaker, then you're going for something like the Sonos Arc. And because I have an LG TV, I was looking at some of LG's offerings as far as their soundbars go, and while they do meet on a lot of features like offering Airplay 2 support, which we really cared about, I didn't like that I had to buy these particular products in a pack with a subwoofer or additional speakers. I do like the customization of Sonos to be able to just buy the Sonos Arc soundbar and not have to add that subwoofer, though you can if you would like. And the main reason for that is, with a small kid on the way, I don't want to have this standalone subwoofer that's sitting behind a couch or somewhere else where that kid can easily get to it versus our media console area, which we have child-proof, at least to the best of our ability. I did also look at Bose's comparable offerings against something like the Sonos Arc, and what I found was I didn't like the buttons. I didn't like that the buttons were these like physical buttons, which I would normally like, and I'll tell you why. It's because I like Sonos having these capacitive buttons that are built into the shell, the housing sort of the soundbar. It makes it really easy to dust and clean up. This is a product that's going to be sitting out in your living room collecting dust. You will have to clean it regularly, and having a bunch of buttons with button wells and little lips and such to have to clean over, I'm not a big fan of that. Now, setup for the Sonos Arc is fairly easy. You get it out of the box, you plug in power, you plug in the HDMI port to your HDMI eARC port, and there is an optional optical adapter in case your TV does not support eARC. Tap your phone and away you go, setting up your Sonos setup. There is also an optional Ethernet port adapter in case for some reason you don't get Wi-Fi wherever your Arc is being connected to, or if you just want to have that dedicated hard line connection to your switch or router, you can do that. And connecting the Sonos Arc to something like an LG GX or CX series TV or the C1, C2s will allow you to use your TV's remote with your Sonos Arc. So what's really nice about this is you just have one remote, your TV sort of turns off its volume controls and allows you to control the Sonos Arc while your TV is on. And one of the things that I did say I really liked about the Sonos Arc that it had to have, that any sound device in my house is going to have is Apple AirPlay 2 support. We do find ourselves AirPlaying a lot of content to that speaker since we both have iOS devices here in the house. And also Google and Alexa are built in as well, but I particularly don't like the voice features, and it's easy enough to just disable them and just AirPlay things to your speaker if you so choose to. Now, the big software offerings with the Sonos Arc are Trueplay tuning, which will have you using your phone like a microphone while the Sonos Arc plays sounds in order to gather a better sound profile for your particular room. This will help build a better spatial audio sound profile from this singular speaker that does happen to have multi-directional speakers, so that does help, and I have seen that improve sound quality for my particular room. However, if you have something like we do, like this open well between our kitchen and our living space, it will make that sound profile not sound as well as, say, if you're in a perfectly shaped box with 4 solid walls. Something to be aware of. Now, the second software and I guess hardware feature that is included in the Sonos Arc is Dolby Atmos support. And if you haven't heard Dolby Atmos at home, I think it does make a significant difference. One that once you experience it, it is very difficult to go back to not having it. It's just a fuller sound with better directional sort of vibrancy. It really makes a soundstage come alive, and it's just a far more immersive experience than just having 2 speakers that are directly firing at you. Finally, there's speech enhancement, which is something that you can enable from the Sonos app on your phone while you're watching something like TV or a movie. What this feature does is it allows your Sonos Arc to bump dialogue and voices in the mix to make it easier for you to hear a particular dialogue or monologue that's happening in your show or movie. Something to look out for with speech enhancement is that you may lose a little bit of that immersiveness of like Trueplay tuning and the Dolby Atmos stuff if you turn on speech enhancement, but if it's something where you're struggling to hear and you want that clarity of speech, it's a nice option to have. Putting all of these features then into our particular use cases, what I can say is that speech enhancement on something like listening to podcasts really does come in handy, especially for our use case, listening in the morning when we're still kind of waking up and listening to our podcasts and trying to have our coffee and all that fun stuff. Trueplay tuning definitely helps your Sonos soundbar fill a room, and it's great if you just want to have ambient music on and not have to feel like, oh, the TV's on blasting audio in just one direction. It does fill the space and kind of give you an environment at home that's very vibrant and lively, and overall was something we really appreciated, especially during the pandemic. Now, the only issue we've had with the Sonos Arc is that we had an extended power outage at one point where the TV and the Sonos lost their, I guess, communication over their connection to each other. What ended up being the solution was just restarting the Arc and the TV and allowing them to learn each other again. Fairly simple solution to that problem, just in case any of you run into that. But overall, this has been, again, one of my favorite products, if not my favorite product, for sort of our home tech or the things that we use around the house. We use this every single day, like I said, to listen to podcasts, listen to music, and also just when gaming, watching TV, movies, and sports. I do think great sound is really underrated, especially after the past couple of years where I think a lot more people are working from home, spending more time at home, or just want to be able to have a comfortable, enjoyable environment in your house. I think audio plays a significant role in that, and just being able to have something like Latin music on in the background when I couldn't visit my family in Mexico, or being able to have like a nice little jazz music in the background even though I can't go out to have a drink. I actually like doing that now a lot more, just having a home environment that's being created by sound than I do necessarily going out. I still enjoy going out for things like going to the movies or going out for a drink with friends, but I find having that great environment at home allows me to enjoy hosting people more, enjoy having friends over more, enjoy me using that space with my wife even more. So at the end of the day, I would absolutely buy the Sonos Arc again. I still think it is the best soundbar in its particular category at its particular price range, and then having the flexibility to add the Sonos subwoofer or additional speakers as well really does round out this particular tool as a very versatile and it's a great value for what it is. Let me know down in the comments below what you plan on using your soundbar for, whether it's TV, movies, gaming, sports, or if you primarily want to just have great audio in your house. I looking at all of our use cases, I think soundbars can be great TV accessories, but they can also be whole home, whole room, I guess, experiences in their own right. And for me, that was the big surprise of having this. It kind of feels old-timey, like back in the day. Did anyone your grandparents turned the radio on and you just sat around and listened to music, listened to a talk show or something without the TV being on? There's something I don't know, there's something old timey, something charming about it. I really like it. I didn't foresee that was exactly gonna be how we would use the Sonos Arc, but here we are. I'm here for it. I'm having a good time with it. So if you made it this far in the video, I just wanna say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. And if you haven't, I would just ask that you would. It really helps me out. Be kind both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to send good vibes across the internet. And we'll do it again soon. Later.